Whoa. Hey, everybody. Dr. A here with the K Train, the legend, Ken Kreitz. This is the Tuesday, April 2nd, RotoWire basketball podcast. Ken, I cut off your whistle. Please blow the whistle.
You're a kind soul for letting me blow the whistle, sir. It drives Whalen crazy. He hates the whistle.
If there's one thing I should have learned this year doing this with you 8 times or however many did it, like, don't mess with the K Train and his whistle. Like, nobody
sent me this. A fan sent me this whistle. I had a small whistle, and like a local carpenter was like, "That's not a whistle. I'm sending you a whistle," and he sent me this massive. Anyway.
I love that whistle.
Thank you.
I love that whistle. So we're diving right in. San Antonio. Devin Vassell, done for the year. Jeremy Sochan, done for the year.
Are you worried about Wemby? Like, why are they going to keep playing Wemby, right?
Well, those dudes are actually hurt.
Right. I understand. But I know you're always on the Wemby watch because you've got a championship squad.
We are in week 2 of our matchup in a 3-week showdown in my 30-team league. I've got Wemby out there. I couldn't rely on Richaun Holmes after what he did to me last week. So I've got Cedi Osman out there.
Yeah, his minutes should climb.
I've got Zach Collins out there. They're all playing tonight, supposedly. Yeah, I just pray that Wemby is playing. Can I rely on Cedi Osman? Like, is Cedi Osman going to help me win a 30-team league?
Well, my assumption is a 30-team league. How many are who's available, right? But the minutes should be there with them, as you mentioned, with real injuries to Sochan and Vassell. Gosh, somebody's got to play, and he's not part of their future. If he rolls his ankle or whatever, I don't think they really care. Which I guess is a good thing. I guess Branham might be the biggest, but yeah, they're playing Champagne. Yeah, he might. Silly season, baby.
I don't know. I know I survived last week with a 5-4 win with only like 3 minutes out of Richaun Holmes. And Cedi played good in his last game. He got a start.
He shoots. He's not shy, right? Like, he gets the ball, he'll shoot, hit triples.
Yeah, I just threw him out there. So anyway, if you're in a deep league and you're looking for a warm body this week, Cedi might be a guy to throw in there tonight and see what happens.
Dull wins going dull with guys who just have minutes, who you dislike, but get minutes. That's the way to win these silly season matchups. I went for it with Tyrese Maxey on Sunday in Kamala's league, and I wasn't able to be there right at the confirmation lineup, so I said, I'm going Maxey. He doesn't play. I lose by 2 assists. I get 2 assists. I'm in the finals again with Kamala. No, I should have gone boring and put like Dorian Finney-Smith in there. Some god-awful.
Oh, that sucks, dude. That's terrible. I hate that. Yeah, if I went through all this work this year and I don't win 30 deep, I've got the best lineup. I'm gonna be devastated, man. I'm gonna be crushed.
I hear you. I'm in 7 leagues. 1 is stake league. We gotta get you in the RotoWire stake league. I'm in the money for that. I made playoffs so I'm playoffs for 5 of 7, finals for 3 of 7. One's the FSGA, where they give you the championship ring at the FSGA conference, and you're on stage, and everyone you beat's in the audience. Going against Dan Titus, Yahoo, for that. My game count looks bad, but now I'm just rambling. I'm sorry. I cut off your actual news headline, which is Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sochan shut down for the season.
You actually reminded me of, speaking of getting up in front of people and accepting awards, with my whole Hall of Fame thing. I was talking to Andy Behrens. I'm like, so are you all flying me to Vegas and do I get an award on the stage and everything? He's like, no.
Are you on the radio show? Are they going to have you on Sirius?
No, we did that. We did that.
Okay.
So we did that little thing, which was very fast. And then I was like, well, I need to know what my Hall of Fame thing is going to be. Am I getting a jacket? Am I getting a plaque? Am I getting a bronze statue?
Bust?
Like
a big bust? Yeah.
a bust? And he's like, yeah, it's going to be like a combination of all three of those, and we'll send it to you ASAP. So I'm probably never going to get anything, but I can at least
I always
have it in my head.
FSGA and the FSWA awards.
They are confusing.
I know Shanky has plaques for both, so I think you're getting at least a plaque.
Okay. All right. So Brandon Ingram of the Pelicans sounded like he was shutting it down for the regular season, but now he's talking about coming back to finish the season despite his knee injury. So make sure he's not sitting out there. He could go off next week.
I think Ingram is an excellent example, though, of the sexy versus boring. Meaning, yeah, if Ingram's in, he could huge upside, right? But I'd assume they'd have him on a restriction this week, right? And then give him a tune-up next week before the actual playoffs. The Pelicans aren't really playing for anything. I should get my standings.
They are sort of playing for something.
Where are
they? Just got passed. They just got passed by the Mavericks.
Oh yes, but it may be more worrisome though for them. They're only one game ahead of the Suns for the play-in. So you're right, actually. That's a bad example. Ingram is somebody they'll probably max out if they can. You're right, Doc.
Well, and also this year is weird, Ken, because Jaren Jackson Jr. is still out there balling out.
I know.
Desmond Bane, there's tons of guys. Brandon Clarke came back. Like, people are playing who we never thought would be playing.
Right. Jackson's supposed to be a 50-game guy a year, right? All of a sudden, he's like he's the Cal Ripken of the Memphis Grizzlies this year. It's insane.
I mean, LeBron James is out there at 39 years old.
Yeah. AD hasn't missed many games. It's not right.
Kawhi Leonard. It's just a weird. And there's a lot of guys are not shutting it down this year like they have in the past. I think this commissioner move to incentivize guys to keep playing has worn off on the coaches. It's wearing off on the players, and it's working. But then, of course, you got a guy like Damian Lillard.
Yeah,
right.
Move to the new headline. Move to your new headline there. Yeah.
Personal reasons on Saturday, and now a groin injury will keep him out on Tuesday. I mean, if you're in a finals of a fantasy league and you've got Dame Lillard right now, like, he could not have done this at a worse time ever.
No, he couldn't. I hope the and the groin aren't related.
And there's no one. There's no one in Milwaukee you can really replace him with unless it's Malik Beasley or maybe
Cameron
Pat
Payne.
Bev.
Yeah. Oh, Payne's in Philadelphia now. Sorry. Yeah, Pat Bev. And
even Cameron Payne in Philadelphia, filling in for Tyrese Maxey, got bulldozed by Kyle Lowry the other day. Lowry got all the love.
The fire hydrant beat him up. You know, we've got some live questions, Doc. Should we go to the questions?
Yeah, why not?
Christian Rogers, regular of the show, he wants to know about the Miles Turner injury. You know, he messed up his finger. I think only played 14 minutes last night. Let me pull this up on RotoWire. I don't think
it's a right finger injury, and we just don't know anything more. You know, he left the game.
Yeah,
didn't play through it.
Did not come back. Yeah,
Jalen Smith had a double-double.
Jalen Turner's shooting hand too, so I imagine they're going to be nervous about it.
Jalen Smith is the pickup there if Turner misses time, which this type of year, the Pacers are kind of locked into where they are. I want Turner healthy for the playoffs.
Well, I'll say this, though. Heat are only one game back of the Pacers. That, you know, if I'm Indiana, I sure heck want to avoid that play-in. So they'll probably love.
Are they down there on the play-in?
Yeah, they're only one game ahead of the Heat for 6th to avoid the play-in.
Oh.
But I'm sorry, Christian, we don't have any new news yet. I'm sure RotoWire will have it today. But as of 11 a.m. Eastern, nothing new on Turner. It is his shooting hand, so it's a concern. And they do have Jalen Smith, a good backup. So I think you have reason to be nervous there.
I would be surprised if Miles Turner plays in his next game.
Okay. You heard it from the doctor there.
That's right.
All right. Next question from Matt. Doc, who would you drop in a points league? G. Williams or Micic out in Charlotte?
Throw that up on the screen. Grant Williams.
Grant Williams. Yeah, sorry. Both Charlotte guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Who would I pick up? Or who would I drop in a points league? I think I'd drop Micic just because Grant Williams is starting and he's scoring right now. I think Grant Williams is good to go the rest of the way. I've actually got him written down as a guy that should be picked up. I also think Micic is right there with him as far as a guy who's available in a ton of leagues who should be picked up. But just in a points league, I think I trust Williams a little bit more than I do Micic.
Yeah. I mean, in a roto league, it's obvious you just go with whatever category you need, but points is an interesting question there. But those two are both going to get a ton of minutes to end the season. Scal was debating last night, Scalabrini of the Celtics, like, what's Micic's role next year for Charlotte? I wonder if he could be their starting shooting guard with Rozier gone. We'll see. He's 31, though, next season, so I don't know.
He's had a heck of a year, man.
He's a great guy to take a flyer on in keeper leagues for next year. You know, he make that cheap. Go ahead.
Well, he hit a wall last week and had like 2 bad games in a row, and everybody panicked. But man, he's been right back to his old tricks today. So this week.
All right, I got a really hard question I'm going to have to put on the screen because there's too many names. But loyal fan Maluk wants to know which 2 to stream for Saturday. Boy, G.G. Jackson getting a lot of minutes, not shooting as much. Paul Reed, Braun out in Denver. Cameron Payne, we just talked about. It totally depends on Maxey's health. Fernando getting some minutes for your Hawks. Surprisingly, I don't know why. He did have a nice revenge game against the Celtics. Those 2 wins. You got any preferences on these 6, Doc?
I'm going with Trendon Watford and G.G. Jackson. Paul Reed should be done with Embiid, probably back by then. Brown, Campaign, Bruno, I don't really trust any of them. I know Gigi's going to get 30, and I know Trendon Watford had – what did he have last night? He had like he had a great game. I forget.
He did. Trying to guess who's going to be awesome for Portland is dangerous.
Danilo Banton?
Delano's the man. He did not – Banton, another 35 minutes off the bench. He's the silly season MVP, Banton is.
He is.
26, 5, and 5 last night with 5 stocks. Maybe the Celtics didn't make a smart move letting him go, though he was never going to get 35 minutes a run for Boston. But
he's incredible, man.
Yeah.
He is the silly season MVP / hero.
He really is.
And I picked him up. I had him on team. I've got him on a team that trying to win a championship in. And he's been awesome.
Banton was star of my Camel League. All right, one more question here. Would you drop Vooch, the Bulls, for Fernando or Lowry? I say no. I know he's had some low scoring games, but wait, maybe I'm getting the wrong. We're talking Chicago, right?
He's got to be talking.
Yeah, Vucevic, Chicago. Yeah, I mean, he still got 14 rebounds. Look, Vooch is going to play every minute. The Bulls desperate. I wouldn't drop Vooch at all.
Not for Kyle Lowry or Bruno Fernando, especially.
Yeah.
So let's just hang on to Vooch for a second. Unless there's news out there that I don't know about. That's it's kind of weird.
That is crazy. Oh, I'll check for news. Why don't you give us the next headline on the notes, sir?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander iffy for tonight with a quad injury, so keep an eye on the RotoWire news feed there. Your guy Tyrese Maxey might not be ready for Tuesday. Lowry was solid. Joel Embiid we thought was coming back on Tuesday. He's not.
That was weird. Sham Woj racing in about he's returning this week. Could play tonight, Tuesday. They immediately said he's not playing Tuesday. So I have actually a Thursday pickup in the FSGA Championship League.
Oh, boy.
It's a daily moves league, but it is down to game count. So I'm debating dropping. I got to drop someone for Embiid, but then if he doesn't play Thursday, his next game, when is his next game?
Sunday?
hopefully it's Sunday. Yeah, get one shot at playing Embiid would be awesome. But I mean, I don't know why you'd rush. He's got to be ready. Talk about teams that don't have much to play for. Philly's got 5. They're up 4.5 games on the Bulls for the 8th spot. They're kind of stuck in the play-in. I don't know. There's really not much need to rush him back. So I assume if they're going to play Embiid, he's healthy, right? Because there's not much to play for, but we'll find out.
And Embiid's one of those things where I don't feel bad for telling people to drop him, even if he comes back, because I don't think he's going to come back and play like crazy minutes.
Right.
And we've only got like 7 games left or whatever. So, but it will be disturbing that if you dropped him and your opponent picked him up and he does come back and goes off, that's going to be
tough to watch. All right, things are bad in Washington, right, Doc?
Yeah, tell me, Kyle Kuzma. Tell me about it.
Out again tonight. Second straight absence due to a heel issue. Tyus Jones is out for Washington. What's the latest? Holmes hasn't returned yet either. Deni could just go off. He might be the only walking wizard. It might be 5-on-1 tonight.
Corey Kispert.
There we go. He should be gunning, especially if you need threes.
Both of them, Deni and Corey Kispert, are both going to be out there gunning.
Give us the good news in Memphis, Doc.
Brandon Clarke playing for the Grizzlies, eating up some of Gigi's minutes and some of his stuff. Had 15 and 7 last night with three combined steals and blocks.
Still bringing him off the bench. 23 minutes.
Yeah.
But he's really producing off the bench. I think they want to boost his confidence. Gone over a year.
I tell you what, I don't know who's pulling the strings in Memphis, but whoever is like, hey, if you can play, you're going to play. Get out there and play. Right. I don't care who you are. Jaren Jackson Jr. had what, like 40 last night with all this stuff, and I'm playing against him in the league.
And, you know who should be lighting it up for them? Now he's missed his 11th game. Vince Williams. He was awesome. And then what is it? Plantar fasciitis, I think. I don't know, but I had Williams in like every league.
I did too. I was rolling him so hard for so long, and he kind of got eclipsed by Danilo Banton. I think Banton has been more of a fantasy hero than Vince this season.
Oh yeah.
Now that it's all said and done,
give him the silly. Is there a silly season trophy for MVP? I don't.
It's in the mail. It's in the mail.
It's with your Hall of Fame bust. It's in the same shipment.
With my Hall of Fame package. My Hall of Fame starter kit. So yeah, I'll let y'all know what that looks like when that shows up. When an Banton Silly Season Award arrives at my home.
Now tell us about Utah. Your former Hawk, John Collins. It looks like he's out again, right? Back issues?
I guess so. Well, Ken, as you noted in these notes that I'm totally stealing from, they need a bottom 10 finish to save their first round pick, or it goes to OKC. Yeah. The Jazz have lost 9 straight. Kamla called this Utah Jazz shutdown and tank at the start of the season. Lauri Markkanen gone. John Collins probably gone. Yeah. Walker Kessler, they decided to start benching him on day one and never stopped. Like, what a misusage of Walker Kessler this year.
I mean, they gave Fontecchio away for free to Detroit. It's almost like we're a little worried Simone might play well, so we got to get him out of here.
It's like they chopped Fontecchio up into a bunch of Chick-fil-A bites of chicken and just stood at the mall and gave it away. Like, right there in the food court, you know?
Yeah. Nina Simone Fontecchio, Tech 19.
Come on, man. We haven't seen Jordan Clarkson in I don't know how long. So yeah, it's rough. And so who does that leave? That leaves that one dude that I picked up for a minute. Who's that no name Taylor?
Well, Taylor Hendricks is the rookie that what is he, like 18 years old or 12 years old?
I think that's the guy.
They want to be giving him a gazillion minutes. He's only appeared in 33 games this year.
I think he might be the guy tonight.
Yeah, he's been over 20. Yeah, he's been starting since late February. He's been over 25, 24 minutes since starting. Big double guy. Not getting, obviously not going to hit any three. Well, he hit 4 through. Oh my goodness. He's actually jacking up threes as of late. So he could be a nice blocks, rebounds, 3 combo. And yeah, they're totally playing for next season.
We've got Keontae George, Bryce Sensabaugh, and Taylor Hendricks. Like, those are the guys that if you're still making moves right now, those are the moves.
Yeah, Hendricks might be available in some leagues, but they're also, I mean, he's not going to be available anywhere, but they're letting Sexton gun and realizing Taylor Hendricks is only rostered in 17% of Yahoo leagues. So
he's only scored in double digits one time in his last 6 games. So it's not like he's out there just blowing it up, but he is hitting 3-pointers and he is getting some rebounds and he is getting some blocks and some steals. Like, he's worth a look. And if Collins is out tonight,
well, exactly. Collins gone, no Markkanen. He's going to get the paint's his. The paint is his. And I don't understand why they're purposely tanking Walker Kessler's career. I know they're upset with Kessler's inability to switch. And I'm like, Kessler's an old school center. Why you've got him on perimeter guys is beyond me, but maybe that's the new NBA. I don't know. Maybe Kessler's should have been born 20 years ago.
Do you have a cranky old get off my lawn man segment?
Kent? I do. Thank you,
Ken.
Doc.
Why did I call you Kent?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
I put a T on the end of it. Like Miss Pamna. Hello, Miss Lady.
Here's what I'm angry about, Doc. This whole silly season, people not playing, it's disgusting. Gary Trent, he's played in 66 games for the Raptors this season, 28 minutes a game. He's young. He's sitting tonight for rest purposes. What? Did you know John Stockton had 16 seasons, 16 seasons where he played the max 82 games plus playoffs? That includes his last 4 seasons when he was aged 37 to 40. In fact, when Stockton was 40 years old, he played in 82 games and averaged 28 minutes per game. At age 40, Michael Jordan with the Wizards played 82 games and over 30 minutes a contest. But 25-year-old Gary Trent needs a rest? Damn you, silly season. It's absurd.
I love the fact that you just called him Gary Trenton after I just called you Kent.
I am famous on the Friday pod for mispronouncing names. I know it's Trent. I don't know why I said, it's just the anger. The anger pushed me to mispronounce.
Well, when you're out in your yard with a garden hose trying to spray kids riding by on their bikes and yelling at them, it's easy to mispronounce words. Oh, I was going to put that up there because
sorry.
Dang it, I put this up there because when Michael Chang asked that question about Vooch, it was based on schedule. So Vooch may only play 1 game, and those other guys played 2 during that run, which would have been helpful to know in the question, but not that we care.
Well, he's going to play that 1 game. What I would hate is you do what I did this Sunday, pick up a Gary Trent thinking, oh, look at that nice high game count, just so they rest the 25-year-old.
You try to get cute and you get burnt. Yeah. Like, that's what happened with me. Like, I've been ranting and raving about how incredible Richaun Holmes was those 2 weeks leading up to last week. And I'm like, he's saving my season. He's going to win me 30 deep. We're going to do this. Same time.
Yeah.
And he played like 8 minutes on Monday, got hurt, and we never saw him again. Right? Yeah. Which has been a problem for like 2 months. So I'm not mad at him for getting hurt. I think he is hurt, but the timing of it was pretty bad. And now I'm relying on Zach Collins and Cedi Osman and Victor Wembanyama to save my life. It's
a 30-team league. I mean, you're going to have to pick up your Cedi Osmans. There's no Taylor Hendricks ain't sitting.
Oh, I didn't pick him up, dude. He's been on my roster all year.
Oh,
like He's a hot commodity in a 30-team league.
Yeah, exactly. All right, where
I'm
are we
glad
the
he's
notes?
there.
Are we going to do it? Is it
I
time to
guess
review last night's games?
I guess that was my cranky old man. I'm just mad at Richaun Holmes. Let's talk about your Celtics for a second.
Yeah.
They beat the Hornets. They basically are playing the rest of this season out with one hand tied behind their back.
Right.
And maybe also in a potato sack, as they just taunt and toy with these teams or blow a 30-point lead against the Hawks or whatever.
Exactly.
They've had a couple bad ones, but they don't care.
The Celtics, as far as fantasy goes, is now all about being in a daily, if you're in a daily moves league or not, where you can take them in and out of your lineup and you're available at roughly 5 to 6:30 p.m. Eastern time to make last second adjustments, because Brown's going to get some rest. Tatum's going to get some rest. Porzingis and Big Al are going to get some rest. You don't know when that's going to happen. Frankly, Luke Cornett, if you've got bench room to stash, Cornett, when he starts, he has 5 starts this year. He gets a double-double with 2.5 blocks, but it's only when he starts. And he's going to start one game between now and the end. But when that game occurs, who knows? Hauser, any night, can just easily drain 5 threes with his eyes closed. He's probably the lead guy to get. Unless you need dimes, then Pritchard's going to get you more assists. But there's going to be some daily transaction all-stars where these guys have one Delano Banton night, but then the next night give you like 5 and 4, and you're like, what am I doing? So weekly leagues, the Celtics are awfully, awfully risky. But if you're in a daily league, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, even Luke Cornett are great stashes because they will blow up when they start.
And the real question is, why would anyone be in a weekly lineup league in 2024? I mean,
They're old. Well, the belief is it's less work, but then you're so angry when it's Thursday and half your lineup's out. You can't do anything about it.
I know. All 7 of my 30-team guys go on Sunday, so that is going to be really frightening. But let's talk about Sam Hauser for a second. Are you aware of who his high school teammate was?
Ooh, it would be up in Wisconsin, because I know he grew up in Wisconsin. Before
it would also be someone
before Virginia.
It would also be
a Tyrese Halliburton. Was it Tyrese Halliburton?
It would be someone under the RotoWire umbrella. It would be a coworker of ours.
Get out. I have no.
Kirian Sprecher.
Really? I didn't know Kirian played high school ball.
Played high school ball with Sam Hauser.
That's fantastic.
Wisconsin.
I mean, Wisconsin is the thing. Yeah. A lot of people forget Hauser played Marquette before he transferred to Virginia, before he became a developing sniper for the Celtics. But Sprecher, I did not know he played high school ball. Okay.
And he was talking to me about Sam Hauser like 2 months ago. He's like, yeah, I went to high school with him and he's a good player. And I was like, I'm not really falling for this. 25 points, 7 threes, 9 of 13 shooting last night. Like if Jalen Brown or Jason Tatum sit out, I think you put Hauser in your lineup and let him rip.
Absolutely.
And I don't think Tatum and Brown will play a game together again until maybe the very end or in the playoffs.
Right. Brown sat last night. Absolutely. They want to spread the burden out, let those guys rest. The best thing that happened to Sam Hauser was Max Strus hurting his knee. When way back when, Strus was a two-way guy for the Celtics. Blew his knee out. Celtics said bye-bye. Heat picked him up, and the rest is history for Max Strus. But then the Celtics were like, well, we need our Max Strus three-point specialist development guy who comes cheap. And so Hauser moved right into that spot.
K-Train, why does Jrue Holiday hate fantasy basketball and managers?
Because he makes the extra pass, which they love him on the team for, but boy, he does not go for the gaudy stats you sure would like. D. White really. Nobody thought D. White would have the better fantasy season than Jrue Holiday this year. Though I was all over Jrue White. He was on every sleeper list I had. I got him on every roster I could. But, it's really White who's the point guard on offense, and they send Holiday to the corner so many plays. Or they let Brown or Tatum dribble the ball top of the key. But Holiday is not really a point guard anymore. You could almost say he's like a 3-and-D wing who's just a little short.
Well, and we all would have been a lot better off had he just not played on Monday. He got your Monday off to a 1 of 11 shooting start. He had 2 points and 2 assists. He missed all 8 of his 3-pointers.
And they were pretty wide open. He missed some wide open ones too. Well, his shoulder injury, and you can see he's wearing that weird sleeve on one arm and a shoulder thing on the other. His dead shoulder is a legit injury, and I think they're worried about getting him back in a groove before the playoffs. Some of these other ones, like Brown sitting last night, I think that's just rest. But of all the weird sittings playing for Celtics, Holiday's, I think, the most legit injury.
Well, I just feel bad for people who had him in their lineup.
Yeah.
I've gotten very used to Peyton Pritchard being out there and playing 30 minutes for me in my 30-team league lately, but now Jrue's back, so he's kind of messing that up. He's just messing everything up.
And you know what? He's going to keep messing it up because also his defense is so good. They leave him out there, right? He's their best defender. So even last night when he's shooting that terrible 1 of 11, he was still playing great D, helping get turnovers and stuff. And they'll put him on power forwards. And he's kind of like Kyle Lowry on their block. He is fairly immovable for a guard. So, yeah, I would keep avoiding Holiday. I don't think his numbers are going to shine. It'll be more awkward than not the rest of the season.
What do you make of Jalen Duren getting a tooth knocked out last night? Leaving the game for good.
They lose to Memphis at home. How sad is that? That, like, at home, you can't even beat Memphis. They got Cunningham in the lineup. They got Ivy in the lineup. 5 minutes in. Well, and I can see why they're like, if you're in any pain, this season's over. Who cares? But it was like a Holmes move there. Duren, man, he's a rebound machine when he's in there. He's a rare future piece for that team.
Well, if Jaren Jackson took one of my teeth out, the impact of that hitting my face, that elbow or whatever it was, I'd probably be dead right now. So.
Yeah. At the very least, we'd be crying like little babies.
We would be crying. So at least Jalen Duren is okay as far as we know. Yeah. But Chimizi Metu had 17 points and 8 boards. James Wiseman had 10 and 10. We don't really know what Duren is going to do. If he misses another game or misses time, I say you roll with James Wiseman.
Oh, really? I'm actually tempted more for Metu, frankly. I think.
Well, you can be that too.
Yeah. Yes, there's a joke in there somewhere. Yeah. The Me Too movement, baby.
The Me Too, the Me Too movement. The Chimizi movement.
Tell us about your Pacers, because I know you grew up in Indiana. Your Pacers-Nets game last year. That Nets, God, what a terrible season.
There's old Trent in Watford. I was like, what team? Who he play for? Is what I kept thinking. I knew. I always remember
Portland
him.
last
year.
I screwed it up because it's Portland last year. I screwed that up. I did not realize he'd gone over to Brooklyn. This is when we all start to sound like Charles Barkley in the silly season when guys hasn't played all season and suddenly are getting massive minutes.
The Nets are so boring and so forgettable that you don't even know who's on their team. And it makes sense. But the Pacers got 27 and 13 out of Ty Halliburton. Jalen Smith had a double-double because Miles Turner got hurt. TJ McConnell had 10 points and 8 assists in 18 minutes backing up Halliburton. He actually might be a better play right now than Peyton Pritchard just because he's more effective in shorter stints. If Jrue Holiday is going to keep playing.
You're talking about McConnell? I'm sorry.
Who did I say? Yeah, TJ McConnell, I think, might be better.
Yeah.
A better backup to play, point guard to play right now than Peyton Pritchard.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, you're right. He certainly does play better in short stints. The Pacers are not going to rest Halliburton until they're assured or whether they know they can get past the Heat to stay out of the play-in.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're going to rest Halliburton. I just feel like McConnell gets run.
the cockroach gets run and he gets steals too. We've been calling him the cockroach for years on Friday. You cannot kill McConnell's career. He will not go away.
Cockroach.
But for pickups, though, in daily leagues, if this Miles Turner finger injury is real and you don't think he's going to play, Jalen Smith could be a delicious pickup for a 1-game run.
Him and Isaiah Jackson both. Yeah. And it's a coin flip. You know, you don't know which one's gonna be better than the other, but one of them is probably going to go off.
Yeah, I think Smith's a little more of a shooter. I would lean to Smith if you're debating, but you're right. It could be.
I'm with you on that. I like Smith better as well. And then from the Nets, Cam Johnson was out with a toe injury. The Nets didn't even put up a fight with the Trae Youngless Hawks to try to get in the play-in. They just let the Hawks have it. Brendan Watford. Yeah, is that a gift you really want? That was like the other day I was playing golf, and we had the golf cart right up kind of close to the green than we probably should have been. And the old man I'm playing with is like, "Hey, Steve, I'm gonna let you get the cart. I'm gonna let you ride." I was like, "Okay." So he walks like 5 feet to his ball, and now I got to drive like a mile backwards, all the way up a mountain, all the way back around the green. Then I've got like a 20-yard walk to the hole. I'm like, "Thanks, buddy."
But yeah, the play-in, is that a gift you really want? You know,
is it? It's not really.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Quinn, is he there next year? I mean, how many coaches can they go through before they realize that maybe Trae Young is your star is the problem?
Dude, I really thought Coach Quinn was going to be good for the Hawks, but it just hasn't been that good.
All right, so what do they do this offseason in Atlanta? You're living in Georgia there. They're not going to keep just trying to make DeJounte Murray and Young work. Murray goes off. I sure went off on my Celtics when Young's not around. Sure like Murray's defense a lot better than Young. Why do you keep these two? When do you admit that the giving up Doncic for Young was a mistake?
Well, you're never going to admit that. When are you going to admit that trying to run DeJounte and Trae Young out there together is a failed experiment? It's time. When are you going to admit that Jalen Johnson needs all the forward minutes and we don't really need old man Bogey Bogdanovich hanging around? We don't need Sadiq Bey. We don't need DeAndre Hunter. We don't need Clint Capella. We just run a Kongwu out there. There's a lot of things. The Hawks have a lot of pieces they can move, and having a glut of small forwards is not a terrible thing.
How hard is that Hunter contract to move? I think next year's the last year, right? Or is there more?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm a fantasy guy. I'm not a real contract person. You need to talk to somebody who knows something about math. It's not me. I think Hunter's probably gone. I think Capella's probably gone. And then something's got to give with Trae and DeJounte. And I don't know if they're going to trade Trae, or I don't know if they're going to trade DeJounte.
I feel like the marketing department would want to trade DeJounte, but the coaching department should trade Trae Young and his terrible defense.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting summer in Atlanta, one way or the other.
What do we got to review here? Magic Blazers. How does the Magic only win that game by 1? I don't understand that.
Dude, how are they as good as they are?
You know.
At the box scores, you look at the lineups. It's just
you look at Wendell Carter still starting at center. They tried to get rid of him a Batista. That didn't work. Yeah. Actually, good line for Carter last night, but it's such an uninspiring lineup. Greg Harris getting the start again. My goodness.
What is they beat the Blazers. Like what is DeAndre Ayton still doing out there? He had 20 points and 12 boards.
Well, he's long-term contract. I think they want to force a work ethic on the guy. I'm not sure that'll ever work, but they got him for a few more years. So I think they want to try to make a leader out of him, which might be asking too much.
We kind of talked about the Hawks enough. Vic Krejci had 6 triples and 18 points. I mean, if you want to roll the dice on that guy at this time of year,
he is a roller.
Good luck. He'll come back tomorrow with 0 points and 2 rebounds. Jalen Johnson was highly disappointing in his return from his ankle injury. 4 of 12 shooting, 11 points. That was not clutch. And my man, Kobe White, 8 of 21 shooting. Thanks, buddy. And then Andre Drummond, 13 points, 18 boards off the bench. I don't know how he keeps doing that. I don't know how you know when that's coming, when you don't.
Well, how about, all right, what about the Pelicans just rolling over to the Suns last night in New Orleans? That was, to me, every time people want to talk about what a talented lineup the Pelicans have, I'm like, show me a meaningful crunch time victory this team's had. You know, they're only, what are there? They're now only one game up on the Suns to avoid the play-in. That was just such a deflating loss last night. They had everybody playing. Trey Murphy's been hot. Actually, Murphy had a good game. They've given up on giving Valanciunas meaningful shots. He keeps coming out earlier and earlier for Larry Nance. But where are the Pelicans going? Are they the Suns gonna catch them?
Well, I was worried about the Mavericks catching them. The Mavericks have been behind them all year. And now the Mavericks have passed them and are winning their division and are up to number 5 seed in the West, only 2 games behind the Clippers, which helps Luka Doncic's MVP chances, right?
Which I know you've got some cash on, right?
Yeah. So I need Luka to win the MVP. He can't do it as a 6 or 7 seed, but can he do it as a 5th? Maybe. And now the Suns are coming after the Pelicans. And speaking of the Suns, dude, Devin Booker has scored 50 points against the Suns in 3 straight games.
Yeah.
I mean, against the Pelicans. And
yeah.
The Pelicans have my defensive hero, Herb Jones.
Why isn't Jones guarding him on every play?
I don't know. But Devin don't care. He's like a honey badger. He don't give a you know what? What a game. Devin Booker has 6 40-point games this season. He has 8 50-point games on his career, and 3 of them have come against the Pelicans, all back to back to back. So why wasn't Devin Booker in my FanDuel lineup last night? Like, note to self, when he goes home to New Orleans, you put him in your lineup no matter what it costs.
And you want to hear another disgusting stat from the Pelicans choking last night? And this isn't just an outlier from last night. This is a career-long problem. How many rebounds do you think Zion had in the 37 minutes of run? 37 minutes, power forward. How many rebounds did he have last night?
Well, I know he had 5 assists, and I earmarked that because I knew he had fewer rebounds than that. So I'm going to go with 2. Yeah.
2 rebounds. You and I could get 2 rebounds in 37 minutes of run. That is just unexcusable. So people love to talk about the highlight reel. If you don't rebound, who cares? You know, like at his size, rebound. I don't want to hear about the athleticism. First of all, like play, like get your game count up. But second, rebound. I love in auction leagues, Zion's one of my early names to go to because the reality is so far below the hype for Zion. That's one of my first go-to in auction leagues, to get it out there, have other people spend money.
And is that the way you work in an auction, generally speaking? Like throw out guys you don't want early?
Absolutely.
Early
and middle.
I throw out the biggest name I can find to the guy I'm least likely to actually draft.
Right. Now, sadly, that was Wemby too for me, which that didn't work out so well. I doubted his game count. I also doubted, talk about guys who were not supposed to play a lot that did. Kevin Durant, man, he's only missed like 4 or 5 games. It's amazing. At his age, what is he, 37, I think? I really thought this was the year Durant's game count was a mess.
Guys
35, and he's been in 68 games.
Guys who drafted, guys and girls, people who drafted old fantasy players this year did pretty well.
Dominated. LeBron, AD, KD. Yeah.
The team I'm playing against in this it's an FGSA thing, I think. I think I paid money to play in it, whatever. The dude I'm playing against has got LeBron James and Luka Doncic. And he's just rolling the league. He finished first for the regular season. I finished third. But I need my guys to play. I just lost Devin Vassell in that one too. That hurt, but
that does hurt.
I'm trying to win. I'm still going to try to win. I'm not giving up.
Well, I think we're at the magical 45-minute limit here, Doc. Do you have any? Give us one name for pickups. I think mine's going to be Jalen Smith. If Turner's out, but who's your one? Is it Hauser or who's your guy?
If Jaylen Brown is out, or if the other guy, Jason Tatum, is out, it's Sam Hauser. If Jalen Duren misses a game, I'm going James Wiseman. You're going Chimezie.
I'm going me too.
If Grant Williams is sitting out there, I think that's the guy I want to pick up.
Yeah, there you go. Started at center last night.
Yeah.
The Richards is injured now too. So Mark Williams, boy, what happened to his career? We'll see what happens with him health-wise next year. Yeah. All right, sir. Well, is it time to wrap it up with what our standard close is here, sir?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to show you this real quick though, and then we're going to get out of here. What do you think this? What do you think this is?
Medical report for your tourney picks. You're in that many tournament brackets?
No, I'm running one by hand.
Oh no!
Where I have to grade these freaking things
by hand. Have they not heard of Yahoo or ESPN?
130 brackets that I'm grading by hand.
Why didn't you do that online? Are these golf guys? Is this the golf club? Are these all old timers?
It's all old time. Well, it started out when I moved here 20 years ago. There were like 12 people in it. And I'm like, I'm keeping it paper. I'm keeping it cash. We're doing it old school. None of these people have cell phones. And then now it's 130 people. And I think I hit my limit. I'm done. I'm going online next year.
There you go. All right. Yeah. Geez, you got better things to do, Doc.
All right. Y'all have a good rest of the week. Cameron and I will be here on Thursday to break this all down again. And then next week, we should have the results of some of these fantasy championship runs that we're all in, and we can celebrate together and laugh about it together, and then take a big old hibernation nap for the summer. All right, Ken, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks, Doc. It was a pleasure.
All right, bye, y'all.